Hey everybody, welcome back to We Are the Batman. I'm Mike.
And I jumped the gun. This is Matthew, so I'm just going to keep waving.
This is our weekly podcast where we talk about everything going on in the world of Batman, DC, and this week we're doing a DC news roundup because since the last time we've done one of these, a lot of stuff has gone on in the world of DC. Before we get into all that, as always, guys, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you get this podcast every Friday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern. Do it, and also follow us on all social medias at WATV Pod. Before we get into the main meat of the show, like we like to do here, Matt, how you doing? What you been watching?
I'm doing good. I've been catching up somehow. Hulu did not notify us that there were new episodes of Will Trent, so we were like 5 or 6 episodes behind. So we've been catching up about that. It's good. Like, it's really good. So the guy that plays Will Trent is one of these actors who I've seen him in a couple things. Did you remember Transformers 2?
I do.
When Sam goes to college and he has that one roommate who's like, "Don't suck the media ball."
Oh,
it's him.
For some reason, I was just thinking about that asshole yesterday as I was leaving work. I don't know why. I think it's because I was stuck in an elevator with some just like the broiest bro that ever broed. And all I could think was, this guy reminds me of the dude that would walk up to a girl in college and be like, "You want a meat lover's pizza?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, like that dude." Really? Well, that's the guy in Will Trent?
That guy plays Will Trent. And if I hadn't told you, I bet you if you'd watched it, you'd have never caught it.
No, I'd looked at his face and been like, I know this guy from something. And I never would have been able to put it together. Holy crap.
He's been in a lot of stuff, but this is what hit me the other day. Thinking about the show now, I was like, bro, he'd make an awesome Question.
You know what else he's been in? He was in Iron Fist and the Defenders. He was
he was the leader of the Hand or something.
Kudo, the friend of Colleen's buddy,
who for some reason seemed to be a better martial artist than the guy playing Iron Fist.
That's another story for another time.
Like, how does this guy able to do the form better than you? Damn, Finn.
It's simple. Ike Perlmutter was in a rush. That's how that's how they managed to do that. They were in a hurry.
But no, I like that guy a lot. I've seen him in a couple things. He's one of these guys who, even though he played that guy that you're supposed to be like, this dude, he did it really well.
He plays a good asshole.
But him and Will Trent is just such a weird, different gear. I would have never expected from him. And he is amazing in the show.
Cool, man.
So
it's one of those shows. I remember I remember when that hit. I was still working at an ABC station, like the year before it premiered, and they were still. I remember like the promos for it, and then I just never actually sat down and watched it. So I've heard good things though. It's been good.
It's nearing the end of its 3rd season. So
3 seasons on network TV is like. At that point, you start to believe in God. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. So, but yeah, it's really good because I like it because it's one of those shows that has managed to keep being a cop procedural for these seasons. Usually by like halfway through the 2nd or partway through the 3rd, they give it up and it just becomes something different.
Yeah, they've
done a really good job with this, so I like it.
Cool, man. Yeah, it's again, there's so many things to watch nowadays. It's one I've pretty much got to the point where it's like, yeah, you tell me you like something, maybe I'll watch it, maybe I won't. It's there's too many things. They just announced a new season of Big Mouth, so I'm super excited about that. We are by the way, real quick, we were recording this at 10:45 Eastern time on Friday. The Peacemaker season 2 trailer has not dropped yet. We will react to it whenever it drops,
when it hits. I'm refreshing just in case.
Yeah, I've got all the notifications turned on.
It's still first look at Superman.
still nothing. So we're keeping an eye out for that. Yeah, man, I've been.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how are you doing? What have you been up to?
I mean, I watched the new Captain America. I finally watched Captain America: Brave New World. You and I talked about it. Really liked it. I understand the qualms people have with it. Most of I kind of echo a lot of those same story issues, but for a movie that kind of got the Daredevil Born Again treatment and got sort of a Hail Mary in reshoots and re-editing, pretty good, honestly, for what they did. And like the acting across the board, save one person, was incredible. Particularly Harrison Ford and Anthony Mackie, I could watch those two just act scenes around each other for 4 hours. That was incredible.
Yeah, but the takeaway that I wanted to walk away from this film with, I think I'm pretty much on board, is that Anthony Mackie is going to be able to pull off being Captain America. Because that was kind of my big question. Like, I've seen him lead a couple different things. Like, he was really good in this weird science fiction thing where he was a cyborg.
I know
he
the one you're talking about.
Wasn't very good in the second season of Altered Carbon. As that guy.
Everyone tells me about Altered Carbon because I'm such a Blade Runner freak, and I still haven't watched it. I've tried to watch the first episode years ago, and I was just like, nah.
It's I'm trying to think about how to say, because it's such a weird futuristic world, that first episode is like all set up.
Now, I will say, on the flip side of that, I did start watching Severance finally.
Oh, okay.
I'm taking that 1 week at a time because like the episodes are a full-blown hour and they are a lot. But like it is one of the most, that is like, I'm putting it up there with like, I'm 2 episodes into the first season and I'm already putting it up there with like Shogun is like, this is one of the most well-made shows I've ever seen in my life. And the fact that Ben Stiller is the brainchild behind it is mind-boggling to me. Do you know anything about this show?
That's the one where their mind is wiped every time they leave work.
Yeah,
right?
it's the true separation of home and work life. Like it is, like from the way it's shot to the way it's edited, the acting, the writing. I mean, like it is I now get the hype. It's one of those, again, it's one of those shows. It's like, you're afraid to watch it because you're like, what if it doesn't live up to the hype or something like that? You know, you're afraid you're gonna. And I was like, I got like 15 minutes in the first episode, and I was like, oh no, I get it. Yep, yep.
You know what? And I keep forgetting. I need to go watch Shogun because I love.
You need to watch Shogun.
Hiroyuki Sanada. I love that dude.
I can't believe you haven't watched Shogun, dude.
I want to say the biggest problem, and I don't know if it was you or my buddy Scott who I talked about, like if there's certain situations that would not be something my wife would want to see.
We can talk about that afterwards.
Yeah, so I think what I might have to do is watch the first episode to gauge it and then go like, okay.
I think from a purely like, I don't know, she might enjoy it. That's another conversation. But no, I've been watching Severance. I watched the new Captain America. I haven't seen Thunderbolts yet. I was supposed to go see it over the weekend. Got a little busy. I'm gonna go see it this coming weekend.
Great.
Because I from you and everyone and their mother, I have heard nothing but stellar things. And Marvel didn't even wait 3 days before they started spoiling shit online. So like at this point, I might as well, because I've had so much ruined for me. That's the thing. I was able to avoid most spoilers for like Captain America. Thunderbolts, nothing. Marvel themselves have been blasting spoilers all over the internet since Friday.
I think the reason they're doing that is because I think that whole, do we want to talk about it or no?
Well, I mean, it's on track to be like their biggest moneymaker in a very long time, and they're like, quick, gives people as many reasons to go see this as possible. I get it. I totally get it. I was supposed to see it Sunday.
Well, I mean, do you want me to say something?
At this point, at this point, it is what it is. But I'm gonna go see it. I've been fine otherwise, though, man. Just, you know, the world is being the world, and I'm living in it. So, with that being said, we're gonna move on to our main thing of today, which is DC News Roundup. Because there's so much. DC's been, and actually, I'm gonna call an audible and throw one in here first, which is I didn't put this on the list, but I meant to. Have you checked out any of these DC high volume things yet? Do you know what these are?
Podcast things?
So yeah, it's a thing they're doing on YouTube where they're basically taking all of like just like the heaviest hitters of the DC, like Long Halloween is the one they're doing right now, and doing them as like audio dramas.
Oh, okay.
And like most like audio, like, so like, yes, they're podcasts, but it's like they're taking like,
it's like a radio show.
They're turning it into an audio drama audiobook. And I haven't checked these out yet, but apparently the guy who's like doing Batman is getting like rave reviews for his performance. So
who's playing him, do you know?
I don't. It's not anybody that like we know. I think, but those might be something we should check out here at some point because I like that idea. The idea of an audiobook for a comic, for a graphic novel. You know what I mean?
It's kind of funny because I remember back when I was trying to promote one of the books I had written for one of the companies. I don't want to really get into the name of which one.
That's fine.
But I remember at one point, so when we were doing this, if anybody's following me, this will give away who I'm talking about. Yeah. But one of the Kickstarters we did, I actually did like a pseudo motion comic and had a bunch of my actor buddies voice some characters. And then put it together. And then I had that moment of like, maybe we should do something like this for this and kind of get it more attention. And then things didn't work out.
Well,
so it was just one of those like, yeah, it would be interesting to give it a shot. But
Jason,
I'm looking him up.
Yeah, Jason Spizek, who's playing Batman, Bruce Wayne. He said from Young Justice and Arcane. I've not watched Arcane, and I don't know who he was on Young Justice.
It looks like he was like a couple different characters.
Was he he's just kind of just one of those like voice actors who just does a bunch of stuff.
He's definitely done a ton of stuff.
He definitely has. He's a career voice actor. Anyway, we might need to check these out. These have been getting like people have been going like ape shit over like the quality of these productions. So we might need to check some of these out. So, but yeah, if you guys
sorry, hold on, checking something.
Matt just found something.
Making sure if this is it, then this guy may just be like, hold on, where is?
Because his
IMDb's long. Hold on, I gotta go.
His IMDb is huge.
I'm trying to get to 2012 on this guy. Come on now.
Oh, he was the voice of Scorpion in the Spider-Man games.
Dude, Green Lantern, the CGI Green Lantern.
Was he really?
Show. No, he was Razor.
Really?
Yeah.
The guy that we can't seem to shut up about. All right.
So, dude, he's on my book. We're doing it. We're doing it.
All right. Yeah, we're gonna check out these DC High Volume things because these seem pretty cool. All right, let's get into the main stuff we were going to talk about here today.
Now that we've gushed over something,
I know. We were hoping to talk about Peacemaker season 2 trailer. It still hasn't dropped yet. So just look for our reaction on. I mean, by the time this episode drops, I'm assuming our reaction's up on the channel already. But if you haven't already watched that, or watch it when it drops,
it'll definitely be there tomorrow/Saturday.
Yes, it will. Speaking of things going on in the DCEU, just to get a few things out of the way. So apparently, Sergeant Rock has been paused. Cool. I don't know. This is a movie that like we weren't even really sure existed up until like a month or two ago.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I don't know.
Deep down the rabbit hole do we want to go?
Well, I mean, we talked about this a little bit when it first got announced. It seems like they're trying to like the logical way to do this would be a tie-in with Creature Commandos and GI Robot and all that, given the backstory from the comics. But I don't know. What are you thinking?
I'm so my mind is moderately influenced by a podcast I listen to, but it's starting to become between the Clayface thing and the Sergeant Rock thing and the weird thing with Batman 2. It's like, is James Gunn now getting pressure from people above him to do certain things? And now his plans are having to be altered because there's a Sergeant Rock movie sounds great.
But like on paper, sure. Yeah.
Like World War II movie, that sounds cool. But then it's like, but what does it mean? And unfortunately, in today's world, like, look, I'm going to go a little crazy here for a second. Look, were there a lot of cool, but also not so cool movies in the last two phases of Marvel? Like Shang-Chi, great movie. It means nothing in the grand scheme of what's happening
so far.
But people cried and complained about how that nothing in phase 4 and a lot of phase 5 meant anything.
There was no connective tissue of any kind. Yeah.
So I think because they said this thing, and I think this is probably true.
Yeah.
I think until Superman comes out and is monumentally successful, outside of things that are in production, I think we're going to see everything halting until that creates the green flag for like, okay, everybody's on board with what you're doing, James. Mm-hmm. Do the thing you think you're saying. And I think that's why a lot of this stuff is being kind of like, not like killed. I mean, this is outside of Batman 2, but like the Clayface thing that like, hey, hold on. Let's see what Superman does. Let's see if it's a box office hit, because the fact that the only box office they've hit, you know, they had Barbie and now they have Minecraft.
Dune. Barbie, Dune, and Minecraft.
Yeah.
Like... well, Sinners. I think that back. Sinners made them a ton of money.
Sinners is doing very well.
They made so much money off Sinners.
But none of their big stuff is doing anything.
No, we've talked about on here before several times that, like, you know, the hot rumor is that Warner Brothers needs Superman to do some Marvel numbers. It needs to cry. They need Superman to do James Gunn numbers. They need to see a James Gunn result. And yeah, to your point, I think you know, we know that Superman's coming out this year.
Yeah.
Lanterns is well into production. We'll talk about that in a little bit more. And Supergirl is, you know, it has been in production. So the feeling I'm getting from all of this is that Warner Brothers probably said, okay, you have money to put this many things in production.
Yeah.
But like, there's not a lot of money left in the well, because Warner Brothers is broke.
Well, and let's be honest here. It's not like everybody's loving what they've seen of Superman. Like, no, everybody seems to be divided between people hating the. And I'm not like, do I really care? No, but I think if Warner Brothers is watching that,
I don't think that's a factor. I don't think that's a fact. Because at this point, if this was like 10, 15 years ago and we were still figuring out the internet, I'd say sure. But like in 2025, I think nowadays, like,
I mean, I don't know,
because like we talk about all the time, engagement. What they're saying is immaterial, but when they're looking at what they're saying online, they're looking to make sure people are talking about it.
I mean, that's true too.
I think as long as
bad publicity is publicity.
Yeah, as long as people are talking about the movie, because like this is I think this is the period of time that Warner Brothers has been a little nervous about, which is like, okay, Superman comes out in July, but Marvel's dropping 2 big movies before then that we've like, not that because it's competition, and it's not like, I'm not saying that like they're hoping for each other to fail, but there is that idea of like, we want to try to not have our hype get swallowed up in Marvel's hype. We don't want to promote our thing and then like people are like why there hasn't been another Superman trailer yet. If they had put it out last week or the week before, all of the hype would have gotten swallowed in Thunderbolt's hype. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, because you don't like, as much as you want to attach things that are similar to similar, do you really want your brand new Superman trailer showing before Thunderbolt so people forget about it?
Or you run the risk of, not that it did, but you run the risk of Thunderbolts being a disaster.
Yeah.
And then people will associate your movie with that. Yeah. So I think it stands to reason that, again, especially since we're waiting on a Peacemaker season 2 trailer now today.
Yeah.
We're a couple. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Speaking of which, refresh. We are, you know, only a couple days into May. It stands to reason that by the end of this month, if not early in June, we should be, because we know James Gunn's been working on it. He said as much.
Yeah.
But for something called the Summer of Superman, not a lot of Superman going on right now.
What do you guys consider summer?
Yeah. I mean, I guess we're waiting for, I don't know. My guess is
academic summer, so June.
That, to me right now, that's all I can think, is that they're waiting for June to just be like, okay, we got a month till the movie. Or their marketing budget's $10. I don't know. At this point.
And the fact that like you didn't do anything big for Free Comic Book Day.
Not just Free Comic Book Day, but like the stuff with the Super Bowl and the Puppy Bowl, and like I know we got the 5-minute crypto Fortress of Solitude clip, and like that's great, but I don't.
What
know.
What is the next big thing?
I know, and like we're starting to see like the Funko Pops and stuff are coming out.
No, I mean, like, there's not a big like Comic Con's not until like a week.
Oh no,
not until August or something.
No,
right?
it'll be past. So it's got to be June, I would think.
So so
anyway, stuff with the DCU is a little weird, and keeping in with that, with Clayface. So I wanted to address this Clayface thing because I think people are blowing this way out of proportion, in so many different ways. So first and foremost, the current rumor is that Clayface is reportedly going to start filming by October 1st, not on October 1st, but by October 1st.
Okay.
Which then led us into another piece of news, which is that there has been a new writer attached to the movie, whose name I just lost.
That's okay.
There we go. So previously the script had been written by Mike Flanagan, who's done like The Haunting of Hill House and all that. And James Watkins, who did The Woman in Black, is still attached to direct. And now it looks like they are bringing on Hassan Amini, who was the writer for Drive, to do the next draft of the Clayface script. And people are freaking out because they're like, oh, they got to rewrite the script. Must not have been very. And it's like, you guys know that like scripts go through multiple drafts.
Yeah.
Right. You guys know movies have multiple writers.
Yeah.
Right. Like you guys ever heard of Good Will Hunting?
Yeah.
Tattoo writers.
Yeah.
So
and I don't want to say I'm on the fence. That sounds weird to say it. Like, dude,
I think it's a non-issue. I'm only bringing this because I think it's a non-issue.
I think this is where this gets into that whole thing of like sharing too much information about projects invites people to freak out.
This is what happens when there's not much of a curtain to peek behind anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Can you imagine if after Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring came out, that people found out that they had to all go back to New Zealand and do reshoots for 6 weeks? People would have been like, oh my gosh, Two Towers is going to be terrible. Oh, blah, 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 blah. Like, we didn't know. Between every one of those movies, they went back for reshoots. They filmed that movie like over 5 years, that entire trilogy.
They started and they didn't stop till they were done.
And I found this out recently, like even after the third film came out, they went back and did pickups and reshoots for the DVD releases.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just like, so this is where I go, like, guys, like sometimes we're too locked in.
Yeah. This is what happens when the mystery starts to fade away a little bit, you know, like, but also like we now live in a day and age where like we live in the information age, how it's made and things like that. Like we know how the sausage gets made nowadays.
Yeah.
But what we're also learning is that like, unless you're in the industry, words are just words.
Yeah.
The term reshoot on paper in the wrong context can sound very scary. The term rewrite on paper out of context can sound like, oh, there was a problem with it. Well, no, there wasn't a problem with the first one. Otherwise, they wouldn't have rolled with it in the first place.
Yeah.
The first script was good enough for them to say, hey, we got to move. You got Go Picture, kid. This is like the new, again, Amini could come in here and take a look at Flanagan's script and go, hey man, I fixed like a preposition you ended a sentence with, but other than that, you nailed it in one. Or Flanagan could be like, hey man, there's this subplot that I'm trying to crack. I need another go at it. But also like this is a comic book movie. Each one of these characters, Clayface alone, has been written by dozens of different writers over the years. It is nothing short of arrogant, if not naive, to look at one screenwriter and go, get this in one all by yourself. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
If somebody came to me, I love Mr. Freeze, is my favorite Batman villain with a bullet. If you came to me and said, write a Mr. Freeze solo project script all on your own, I tell you to go walk off a pier. Like, Like, that is such a daunting task for anyone. So yeah, the idea that a second writer has been brought on to take another shot at the Clayface script has me going, oh, you mean they're still making the movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
We need to clean this up. We need to do some things. Somebody wanted some changes. It's okay.
I'm a marketing professional. I do social media for my job. I still run every social media post I write past at least one other person every day to make sure I didn't miss something, to make sure and stuff gets caught all the time. I spelled something wrong, put a typo in, use the wrong link, put the time in wrong. It happens. So, oh no, they brought in a second.
I remember at the premiere of one of my movies, my buddy next to me went, edited is only has one T.
Yeah.
And I spelled edited by with the wrong in the credits.
Yeah. See, guys, Matt's an idiot. So like so yeah.
You know how many people watched that movie before we premiered it?
So hearing that Clayface has a second writer attached to it now for the next draft of the script has me just going, cool.
Yeah.
And it's also a talented writer. Yeah. It's not like they brought in one of the writers from She-Hulk. I'm kidding. They brought in the writer from Drive. I'm half kidding.
Yeah. If they brought in the writer from Drive, don't worry about what he does. The actor's going to decide not to say the lines anyway.
It's a good movie. So that's So Clayface is getting a new. Clayface is still being written, guys. What a concept.
Calm down, people.
And then I think another thing in the world of the DCU. So Creature Commandos season 1. Speaking of which, they are in the process of dropping the episodes in full up on YouTube for free. So if you haven't watched Creature Commandos yet, if you're someone who lives out of the US and isn't able to get it, or if you're someone who doesn't want to pay for Max, the first few episodes are up for free on YouTube right now, which I think is just their way of, like, again, Marvel hype is at an all-time high right now, and this is their way of just kind of reminding everybody, don't forget we exist too.
Well, it also may be like the people who were really going to watch it and come to Max and pay for Max and watch it, like, that just means, and not in a negative way, like, people aren't watching on Max anymore because it's been out for a while. Mm-hmm. So let's just put it out there. It's better to get more eyes on it so people know what we're doing and enjoying it than to keep it behind a firewall where it's doing absolutely nothing.
James Gunn literally said that when he posted about it on Threads. He was like, welcome all the new members of the Creature Commandos family. It's like, yes, this is just going to get more eyes on it because, it's behind a paywall, on a streaming service, and Max is not cheap. It's good, but it's not cheap. This is a way, and again, there's a lot of parts of the world where, like, Max isn't available. You know what I mean? Like, I have friends who live, like, in the UK who, like, they can't watch a lot of stuff because it's only available on Max. So it's a way to get and also, again, we're trying to, build some hype for Superman. So let's remind everybody, hey, we're building out the DCU with this.
Yes.
And then the last two things from the DCU before we get into some other DC stuff is Jason Ritter offered an update on the filming of Lanterns. He said they are filming out of order. They have just, I think he said they wrapped filming on episodes 3 and 4. Let me double check here.
All right, you're not to do me a favor.
Yeah.
Jason Ritter is
son of John Ritter.
Yes, I was gonna say. So I've missed how he's connected to the Green Lantern show.
So he is playing. Oh crap! Who is he playing on
Kyle
Lanterns?
Rayner?
No, he's playing somebody named Billy Macon.
Okay. He's just on the show.
He's just on the show.
Okay, because I kept going like the actor. What is he?
Yeah, he's just in the show. But he said that they are filming the show in large, out of order, and in chunks. It sounds like. He said they shot 4 episodes so far. They're about to start shooting episodes 3 and 4. We're doing it a little out of order. The story is kind of jumping all around, but it's been fun, and it's a really well-written, really fun show. So it sounds to me like there's going to be some maybe kind of like a la the Arrowverse, like some past and present flashbacks and present day kind of thing going on. Maybe it sounds like, or they're jumping between locations. So they're filming a little bit out of order in a way that probably just makes the most sense for production. It seems like.
Yeah, I think that's the advantage of when you have an entire series written. You can, hey, all the things we need here, let's do it now because we're here. You know, you're not, it's not like an episodic television show that you're filming as you go. Like you can literally nope, this is a movie, film the locations conveniently for all the episodes. It can get confusing, trust me. 10 movie saga I did once. Anyway.
it's and also like when you're filming these kinds of or when you're writing these kinds of projects, we've said since day one, James Gunn keeps saying like, come to me with a script first. And it behooves you to know. And we're not going to talk about the Batman Part 2 stuff here today because we don't know. There's some rumors going around. But they're just rumors.
My rumor's probably the least accurate, but still fun.
Like we've heard, we all, but you know, no, I'm not even going to entertain the.
Let's not even talk about it. That's that's an episode unto itself.
Yeah, I'm not even entertaining that right now. But like James Gunn said, bring me a script and your stuff gets done. So if you're gonna jump into the world of Lanterns, which we've talked about is vast, it's massive, it's huge, it could be its own comic book universe, and you're going in with Hal and Guy and John and
is Kyle in it?
I don't know if Kyle's in it.
Joe is the girl, right?
We know. Well, no, Zoe is.
Okay.
And Sinestro is going to be in it, but like you're also but you're also tying this in with the DCU, and you got to do some world building, and it's a series, so like, I like the idea of them coming in with knowing where they're trying to get to, and again, just having a plan. We're filming out of order, but if we're doing it in a way to where it's like they're already done with a couple of episodes, well then full steam ahead. So, all right, I think that's everything from like the film and TV side of things. I think now we can delve into some comic books a little bit because we always like to talk about some comic books on here, unless I'm forgetting something. I don't think so.
Hold on.
Has the trailer dropped yet?
Yeah, refresh. No, that's
refreshing the feed. Still no trailer.
Hold on. Good night. Refresh.
Still no trailer. All right.
No trailer.
Still no trailer. All right.
Is there other DC news?
Nope. Still nothing. All right. Cool. All right. Well, let's get into some comic books then, because we've had some good comic books to read lately. Let's start off with. Are you caught up with Batman Hush 2 yet?
I am not. That is another book. I think show me the cover. Is it Detective Comics?
No, it's Batman. It's just Batman.
Yeah, Batman Hush is one of those that I think my comic book store forgot to put in my box because the past 2 weeks I haven't had it. So I think I've explained this before. Traditionally, before we started talking about stuff on the podcast, I would just buy all my comics and put them away, and then every 3 months read everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I have not been checking.
Having to get used to being current again. I showed up the other day and he was like, "You got a lot in your file," and I was like,
"Yeah,
yes, I do." All right. Well, I am spending money today.
Yeah. So last night when I was going through my books, I think we talked about this before. I was like, am I current on Absolute Batman?
I know. I had to double check too. I don't think it comes out.
So I think I did. I looked at Detective Comics and was like, because this is the Detective Comics cover I got. And I was like,
yeah.
I was like, that's not Hush. Crap. Nope. I've missed it.
Yeah. This is Hush. So, I mean, obviously you can tell from the cover, like Jason Todd gets involved.
Yes.
This is issue 2, so we are still very much in the setup phase of this story. Yes. But I will say, this shit goes hard, man. like issue 2.
Okay, I've got to get it because it's not in my thing.
There's nothing I can say that's not going to be a huge spoiler, and it's just like it's intense. It's an intense.
It's good. It's good.
It's good. It's very good.
Yeah. So honestly, as of now, I am only caught up on Absolute stuff.
Okay. All right.
So well, and you want to talk about everything?
Did you read Detective Comics?
No, that's what I'm saying. I didn't even get a chance to read
yet.
That.
Okay.
No. We can talk about it. It doesn't bother me.
Well, there's a panel in here. It's not really a spoiler, but there's a panel in here where Batman makes a joke / reference to Alfred, who has passed away still dead in the comics at this point.
I don't think passed away. When you get your neck broke, that's not passed away.
He's trying to be nice about it, but okay, fine, he did. But
there's
a moment with Batman referencing Alfred in this in a panel that is hysterical. It's one of those. It's very good.
Nice.
It's just a very nice earnest moment. Every once in a while you get an earnest Batman moment in a book, and when you do, it's a nice palette, nice on the palette, and there's a nice moment that happens in here. I'm curious if you know it when you read it.
I will yeah, when I read, I will definitely let you know.
Okay, so Absolute Batman new one hasn't dropped yet, and neither has Flash, but we've got Martian Manhunter, Wonder Woman, Superman, and Green Lantern.
Yes.
Where you want to start?
Let's start with Martian Manhunter.
Okay.
Because at this point, I have no idea what's happening.
I don't know what's going on. I love it. I'm into it, but I don't know.
I thought it was going to be at like the end of like, oh no, you don't know you're the Martian. Now I'm not sure.
I don't know anymore.
Now I'm really wondering if it is. I think you had said like maybe he's possessing different people.
I don't know.
Because even though he's reading the thoughts, he doesn't.
I genuinely think. I genuinely still think. I don't know anymore. I really don't know.
Yeah.
I keep wanting to go back to my theory, but I don't know anymore.
Yeah, I'm at the point now where I'm like, I think by issue 5 we'll know what's happening.
I think so too. So, I think this is going to be kind of like a one absolute Wonder Woman situation where it's like I very much look forward to reading this thing in its entirety.
Yeah. So it's cool. Like I'm really like, okay, this is what we're doing.
It's what I'm here for. Like
it's different.
Yeah, it's different. I'm here for different, and like it's just as wild and WTF as the first issue.
Yes.
And
the fact that it ends with him in bed as an alien.
I was trying to broach that, but I wasn't sure because like
I'm just gonna pop it. Like, sorry.
When they called him the Martian mindfucker in the first one, I was like, oh ha ha ha. But it's like, oh wait, no, they're leaning into that.
Yeah.
Oh, what is happening? I think of all the absolutes, because we've made a lot of Invincible comparisons, this one and Green Lantern feel the most invincible to me, as far as just like,
this feels like a true, like the Green Lantern. Kind of skip the Green Lantern a little.
Yeah,
the way that this is set up, I know we're gonna be told what's happening, and it's a standard.
Somebody described these and like Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man as like when you take like a snow globe and shake it and just let and see where things fall this time around. Like it's the same stuff, but it falls slightly differently. And so that's the vibe. I like to just I really like that metaphor. So kind of using that to go with this. Out of all of these, Green Lantern is the one where I kind of recognize a little bit, like it's like you shoot the snow globe and I can still kind of see where everything's going to fall. Sort of. Martian Manhunter, I have no idea.
Yeah. Because like for me, Green Lantern's one of those, like, I know we're going to do because we've done it with the other ones, is part of the story is current. Part of the story is what happened either years ago.
There's going to be some familiarity to it a little bit. Yeah.
Well, even like, I know we're going to get the story. We're just cliffhangering this because it's episodic.
Yeah.
Martian Manhunter, I got nothing.
It's giving me like Sienkiewicz Moon Knight. I don't know what's real and what's not vibes.
Yeah. So it'll be, this is one like I'm here for it.
Yeah. Oh no, I can't. Did you get a this is my variant, by the way.
I don't have any of those. I left them at home.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
No, I do like Green Lantern.
Let's get into Green Lantern next, since we already talked about it.
I think Green Lantern's one of those characters that like on paper should click all the boxes for me, and it just never has for some reason.
Oh, I love Green Lantern. I love
sci-fi, cool powers.
Yeah, dude.
I've considered cosplaying him.
It checks all my boxes, and that's why I am into it.
Yeah, and I've read some stuff and been like, this is really cool, and other stuff I'm kind of like, whatever. But this is like we were doing the Invincible comparison of like the cartoon affords you the ability that this story has completely already been told. So the things you did when you first started the comic, you can fix because you have all the stuff you've already wrote after it. With this, you can drop into like, hey, is he a Black Lantern? She's a Green Lantern. Who is this? What is that? And that's what I think is really cool. And I think it's a different, like having the whole like Abin Sur did not crash land in the middle of nowhere. He dropped in the middle of a city.
That twist with Abin Sur was like holy, that's different.
Yeah.
And we just watched, Flashpoint Paradox, which, has the whole thing where Abin Sur, they found his body and they only made out one thing he said, beware my power. And it's like, he's the be without fear, passing judgments. Oh my, Abin Sur's scary.
Yeah. Hey, look, it's just, that's that whole thing of you're looking for your heir. And if you're not airworthy, you're dead.
Well, not only that, but like Guy Gardner is the sheriff. I like that Guy Gardner was also smart.
Yeah.
He was like, no. Hey guys, we don't know what this guy's here for. Let's not just start pointing guns and pulling the trigger. Let's just, hey man, you want us to understand something we don't understand? Tell us what. And now he's dead.
Yeah. Oh, that was what you meant.
Oh no, you should have pulled guns. Okay, yeah, no, because as Green Lantern readers, our first reaction is don't pull a gun on Abin Sur. He's not here to hurt anybody. Oh, yes, he is. This is not our Abin Sur.
Yeah,
this is not our Abin Sur at all. We also got
that's not Snowflake.
It's not Snowflake. It's not Snowflake. Nice reference. I'm sorry. Was that Roy Harper?
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Was that supposed to be Roy Harper that loses his arm? That other cop?
Now that you said that, that's
I'm like, loses his arm. They make a point of saying Roy in big bold letters. He's a younger guy. My mind immediately went to Arsenal.
Yes, but that was only a Young Justice thing. That's not.
I know,
but it's possible.
This is absolute, man. Anything's possible.
That's true. Peacemaker's a villain in Superman, so
we're gonna get to that in a sec. And the fact that like even Hal makes a point of saying he's like, this Black Hand isn't controlled by willpower. It seems like because we know which backs up that theory. Hal's not Hal's going straight to whatever their version of a Black Lantern is in this.
Yeah.
Or what did Abin Sur? He's like I am elevated to the green level of light or something like that. Yeah. So this is giving me this gave me, especially the flashback stuff gave me like in a way like Stephen King's The Mist.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like the small town and chaos comes and they try to make sense of it and that guy rode his bike into it and didn't make it. It's like, it was very like horror movie, sci-fi horror vibes or like Arrival kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. But they killed him and somehow got away. So that's where we've got something happening.
Well, they didn't kill him. He left. Remember, he says to John Stewart, like, be without fear. And then he deuces and leaves that ring in John's pocket. And then, we don't have the whole story. We don't have the whole story.
Yeah, we don't. But I thought Joe said to Hal in current time that they killed him.
Well, we don't know if that's what happened in that flashback. In that flashback, he pieces out.
Oh no, that's right. He pieced out because John has the ring and says,
John has that
ring.
We
can kill him.
Yeah, and we know Joe's got one on her hand as well. So I think this is kind of like Wonder Woman and all the others. This is going to be half present, half flashback until we get caught up, and then which is a great way of doing your first run of these absolutes.
Yeah,
world build, lore build. Now we've established where we're at. Now we can keep going.
Yeah,
which is what we did in Absolute Wonder Woman, and now we're on to the second part of Absolute Wonder Woman's run. And I will say, very much like the first part of her run, I can't wait to read the whole thing when it's done.
This is one of those like put your mythology helmet on.
Yeah,
because we're leaning all in on that.
This to me is like, and we haven't talked about this on the show yet, but like I finally started reading Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, and I was telling you, I was like, Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow reads like a fantasy novel.
Yeah.
In graphic novel form. And that's kind of how Absolute Wonder Woman reads as well. It reads like a Greek mythology fantasy novel in graphic novel form. So kind of like we've said ongoing, I'm super into it from jump because I'm super into Greek mythology. But as far as like the story goes, this is one of those, it's like if you're either going to need to be like into it or wait until the end and read it all at once.
I think these last 2 issues, especially the last one, saved this for me. I was starting to get out of it. I was like, no, I'm not into this. These 2 issues have been really, really good. I've liked this a lot. I like the new artist. I like the story. Yeah. I'm really this. If this is what the rest of the series is going to be, I'll stay with it.
That's why I really do think, like, I feel like Wonder Woman had the most legwork to do as far as like establishing, because she's the one who's really coming from, at least up to this point, before Green Lantern and all that in the original 3. Like Superman was still from Krypton.
Yeah.
Batman was still a Gothamite. Wonder Woman's the one who, like, she's not an Amazon from an island. She's a sorceress that was raised in hell.
Yeah.
Like, really kind of like, we need to do a little bit more legwork with establishing who this character is first. Now that I think we're there, and we kind of know everything we need to know about this character. Yeah, I think, to your point, yeah. But again, I'm also super into Greek mythology, so I've been locked in.
What would be interesting is if she slowly kind of transitions into like a Hellboy thing, where she's just traveling the world, going against different folklore, weird villain mythology things, which this seems to kind of be these last 2 issues like that. Like, get away from the earth-shattering city defending stuff and get some of that going. I think that would be really cool and fun.
You know who I just realized I could see this Wonder Woman rolling around with? And I don't mean that to sound as dirty as it did, but I mean like fighting with, like having adventures with.
Etrigan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was literally just like
Absolute Etrigan. What does that look like?
I want to know what Absolute Etrigan looks like, and I want to see it. I want to see this Wonder Woman.
Over or under, it's a woman.
I would say under, only because demonic beings tend to still be pretty misogynistic.
I mean, yeah, that's true.
Like an Invincible, the recurring gag every season with the ancient Egyptian guy who can only possess men. It's so funny. It's so dumb. I love it. Yeah, Wonder Woman is definitely the, like, if you're here for like a bit of a slow burn, the lore and it's like yeah, that's the one. That's Absolute Wonder Woman. So
yeah,
that's the one I can see why people might have a harder time, but also I think it's the one that, like, no, if you really give it a chance though, like the payoff is pretty spectacular. I think, well, so far anyway. All right, let's go to the nightmare fuel that was Absolute Superman.
Bro, I've always thought Brainiac was ridiculous, especially after that Lego movie, which you haven't watched.
Which I haven't watched.
This is hilarious. But anyway, good gravy. What would be that glow up? Is when you look better. Is there like a death down to make you more scary?
This is like, what would make Brainiac scarier? Give him an inferiority complex.
Give him an inferiority complex, a crazy amount of other Brainiacs that he just abuses them out of constantly.
It's not even it's like this. It's like Brainiac gave himself Stockholm syndrome or something. Yeah. Like, it's like he created his own mental instability. We say this every time we talk about Absolute DC. I don't think I ever in a million years would have thought to take Brainiac in this direction. And I don't, like, in a good way, I don't know how to feel about what I read, because I read this right before we started recording.
Okay.
And I'm like, I'm not used to Brainiac being kind of an emotional mess.
Emotional mess, scary as all get out. You literally, like, he's everywhere.
And like the sequences of him just offing those people.
Yeah.
And then he just reports on it, just like Brainiac's log. It's 72 degrees. I can see Saturn from my window. I killed 3 people and maimed a 4th. I'm gonna have turkey sausage for breakfast. Like it just is.
No, the one that freaked me out because it reminds me of did you ever read Preacher back in the day?
Oh yeah.
So that part where he tells that one, like, hey, I need you to clean this up. He's like, well, how long? It's like,
oh yeah,
until it's done, or until you're done. You're just like, oh
like,
my.
how long is my shift? As long as you exist.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Your being is gonna be sweeping up dead bodies.
You know what this is? This is the like true to life scary version of Keegan-Michael Key in Transformers 1. When Bumblebee is down.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like gone, he's the only one down there, and he's just cleaning up, and he goes nuts, and he's talking to Tron and Steve and all them.
Yes.
This is that, but scary.
Yeah.
This is it's
and
also,
then at the end,
the entire book is Brainiac's. Superman's not in this. This is all from Brainiac's. This is every question you've had about Brainiac up until now is
yeah. All right, so let me ask you this: is he turning Peacemaker into Cyborg?
I don't know what he's doing to Peacemaker. I don't know what he's doing to Chris. I don't know. Well, and
that's
also
what it made me think.
We also got the name drop of director Al Ghul, which we saw.
He was in the last episode.
He was in the last issue, but now more pieces are coming together. It's like no, like, and we see him holding that kryptonite. I still think there's a connection between kryptonite and the Lazarus.
There might be. I mean, it makes sense.
Again, I'm only basing out the fact that they're both green.
Yeah, that's all color. It's just color.
But why would you tie Ra's al Ghul in the Lazarus pit into Superman's origin, if not to do that exact thing? You know what I mean? Like it's this other, Krypton's explosion. We play with time travel, wormholes, going through time and space. I'm just saying.
It makes sense.
It would be a fun, different way to explain how Lazarus got on Earth, where it came from, why it's green. Don't know why I'm obsessed with the color, but I am. We also saw this Brainiac is not precious about the cities he keeps. Because he just straight up, he's just like, do you know who Superman is? No? Cool. Stomp on you, destroy you, don't care. Sorry you had to see that, Chris.
Yeah. And I love his design.
Oh.
Because my thing is this, like, I know Star Trek, because it was a TV show, did aliens the way they did for budgetary reasons.
Yeah. That alien is a dog with an aluminum foil antlers on him. It's 1967, dude.
Yeah. Well, even in Next Generation.
Yeah.
Like 98% of the time, it was just they had different brows or different nose. Like there was very little. So I get
how come Klingons look different now? We don't talk about
it. Yeah. There was an explosion. But like, I think that, pardon me, like Brainiac, he's not from Earth. Why would he have normal legs? Why would he have normal anything? And that's like when I try and design aliens and other things I've done, it's like, let's do something. Don't just make them dog humanoids, like let's do something different. That's why I liked Abin Sur, the fact that he has 4 arms, like let's just do different things. So, dude, he looked crazy cool.
Well, and also we know from this that Brainiac's origins aren't tied to Superman's because he has no idea who he is. Remember,
correct?
From his own thing, the Brainiac Collective never went to Krypton. They were like, we don't care about Krypton. Krypton's a nothing planet to us. So,
and also the Brainiac being from Krypton is originally created in the cartoon.
I was gonna say that's more of a modern take, but
that's not original.
But more to the point of like kind of like with Harley Quinn and Mr. Freeze, that's kind of become sort of one of those things. It's where everyone's like, oh yeah, no, that's actually a really cool way of doing that. Let's just make that the standard now. Yeah. So like with a lot of these absolutes, we're deviating away from the standard, if not almost to sort of an allusion to the original origins.
Yeah,
in a way.
So it's dude. Now I'm ready to see Superman go against this guy.
I'm like Brainiac's always been like a really a Superman villain that like I've always been really in. He's just a cool villain.
Yeah,
it's just evil AI. What's not entertaining about that? But I've never been like scared of him before.
Oh, like the fact that he wants to use the kryptonite not to kill Superman, but to disable his dust cape.
He is the dust cape for something. Them making Superman's cape a massive plot point, and then I'm totally on board for is wild.
Yeah. So now you're in that like, oh, you don't want to kill him. You want to capture him and do stuff to him.
He wants to know. Brainiac strikes me as he's just trying to know everything.
Yeah.
And
oh, so if you guys are not reading Absolute Superman, you must pick it up and start with this issue if you want to get crazy, because you could easily read this. Well, I guess you would have to find out how he got the dude. But yeah. I mean, it's a nice also, standalone thing.
From what they're setting up for next month too, I would definitely, because they say they're going to Kansas.
Yeah.
He called Kansas like the most dangerous war zone on the planet, according to Ra's al Ghul. So let's find out why next month.
Let's do it.
I'm super into it. Well, also, yeah, so that's everything. As of now, we're going to do one last refresh on the old YouTube feed to see if the Peacemaker trailer has dropped. It has not. So we will keep an eye out for that.
I'm going to do it twice just to be sure. Huh?
Just to be sure.
Nope, still Superman. Okay.
It's 11:45 a.m. Eastern time on Friday. It hasn't dropped yet. So we'll keep an eye out. Otherwise, yeah, guys, let us know down in the comments if there's anything we missed you want us to talk about, what you thought of everything we've talked about so far. Let us know on your way down there. Make sure you subscribe. It's on the way. Follow us on all the social medias at WATB Pod. You can at WATB Pod. You can find me on social media at Mr. Mike Shea.
You can find me across all social media at The Hustle Man.
We're so close. That's going to do it for this episode of We Are the Batman. We'll see you guys again next time. Same bad time, same bad podcast channel.